In this video we will build this minimal card UI design in Tailwind CSS and React. So this is a very beautiful card UI design and we will build it with Tailwind CSS. You will just practice a lot of concepts of Tailwind CSS in just React JS. So let's get started. So let's just build the application, the minimal card UI. So I'm just using the RFC command here. So we will have 4 divs. So you will just exactly know why we use this, so stay tuned. So we will just use another div and inside of it another div as well. So this div will contain the text and this div will have a background color, and this div is of the border one and this is the all page. So what do I want to have? First of all is just giving it a class name, and just we'll use the flex, display flex, and we'll just have a justify in center, so because I want the card to be centered. And in this div let's just give it a class name and just giving it display flex, and just for now giving it a margin of top of 5. So these are for now enough. So let's just have a class name here as well, and I'm just gonna give it a background URL here. So URL here, and I'm just putting a URL of visit card and just closing. And right here I should have the background should be nicely centered and the background should be covering the entire area of the div. So this is enough, I think. And right now we don't have any of the inside, so we don't have anything here. So if we just put something here, then this background should be shown on the background of the div element. So let's just add the text here. So I will have a div inside of it, and this should have an h1, and that will show modern urban, so the text that you saw first. So modern urban loft, and let's just give it a dash nyc. This is the h1 element, so I'm just giving it another div, and in this div I have all the buttons. So let's just have a button, and we'll just multiply it by 4 because I want to have 4 buttons. So for right here I will just put in Wi-Fi here on all the buttons, so later you can change it as you want, as you wish. So I will just put a text of Wi-Fi here. So let's just save this, and we'll have another div of the location tag that you have seen first up when we just saw the project that we will be building. So let's just give a random location of, let's just use, you can use your own location. So what do I want this to be is this should be an paragraph, so not an h1, sorry. This should be a paragraph, and this text should go inside the paragraph. So let's just cut the text and put it inside the paragraph. And next to this paragraph, what should I want to have is the tag of that show that reviews. So just giving it reviews here. So let's just save it, and just having another div. So I'm just creating divs for the styling aspect, because I want to give them display flex, giving them just unique styles. So later on you will just know why am I creating a lot of divs. So let's just create another div, and what do I want to have? To have an h1, and here will be the pricing, so 210, and I should have a span. So a span, and that should be /mo, which means month. And next to this h1 tag, what do I want to have is button. So I will just use the button, and this will just show weave details. So this is the layout that I'm looking for, and what do I have is that I'm just having this plain look of HTML because I haven't added enough styling. So the first problem that I'm seeing is that the BG URL I think is not working. So let's just solve that problem first up. So let's just see where is the problem. So I'm just the visitcard.jpg. So you may have already saw the error, and you can see here we have the background image. So let's just give this div a fixed width and height. So I'm just giving it a width of 100 and height of 100 as well, and just give it a rounded property of 3XL. So let's just check that out, and you can see here completely change the look. So this is the border div. So let's just use the border property, and having the border color of, let's just use a tail of, for example, 700 will be okay, I think. And you can see here we have a border here. So let's just use a padding here. So I'm just using padding here, sorry, padding of, let's say, 2. This will be enough, I think, and it is enough. And we'll just give this a rounded property as well of 3XL for the design consistency. So this is the 3XL border, and so let's just give the BG to this outer container as well. Let's just give it a tail of, for example, 100. I think this will be enough, yeah. So let's just have the BG of, so have the width of screen viewport height, I think, not the width but the height, sorry. So, and now it has all of it. So this one should, for example, you have seen that this border is just getting all the available space here. So what should I give is to give this the fixed height. So I'm just giving it a height of 105 and width of 105. I think this will, this solved the problem. Now what do I want to have is this text should be right here at the bottom. So I will just give this display of flex and items to be just end. So I am just using the display flex property twice here, and now it isn't worked. So let's just discuss why it isn't worked. So first of all, what do I want to have? So I think I should use the display flex property here and the items end property here as well. Let's just clear it from here. I think it will work now, and you can see here I have it at the bottom. So this worked nicely here. So to this, the text div that I have, that this contains all of this text. So I will just give this a class name first of all, and display of flex, and I will just use flex column. So that just means flex direction of column, and I will just use the and justify. So what do I want to have is that this should be justify center. So I want to use the justify content that if you have just coded in CSS. So this doesn't create a lot of difference, but it's not seeing right now. It will be just pretty visible later. So we have these, and let's just give the button. So first of all, let's just give this h1 tag a styling. So I am just giving it a font of, let's say, bold, and just giving it a text of 2XL. So let's just check it out, and 2XL I think is big, so just giving it an XL. Oh, sorry. just giving it an Excel size I think will be enough. So let's just check that out, and I think it's enough. And right now what should I do is that give these buttons a first of all display of flex, and right here giving every button a styling. So the class name in the px should be 2, py, which means padding on the top and the bottom, should be 1, and I think the text should be sm, which means small. And you can see here the buttons. So what do I want to have is the border as well, and the border should be white. So this is the button that we have, and let's just have a rounded, so border round, so border radius should be, for example, 2xl, and this is enough I think. So let's just give this class name property to all the buttons. So pasting it, so you can see here we have the problem that I'm having is that just giving the text color of white will be good. Oh, and you can see here it's pretty more visible right here. So the next thing is that this should have a display of flex. What do I really want to have is this New York text should be located on the left, and the 2 key reviews should be located on the right side. So this is I think here. So let's just have the class name display flex, in the justify is between, and you can see here. And why is this not going to the other side here is that I think this isn't having a width full property. So let's just give it a width full, that it should occupy all the available space of the container, of its parent container. So let's just give it width full, and you can see here. And right now what do I want to have is that I want to give this one tag a display of flex and justify of between, and you can see the results here. I want to have a little bit of padding here around that text container, going to the top and adding some padding here. So for example, padding of 2 will be enough, and it's enough. So right now we will just assign this view details button. So it's a button as if you have seen it in the first of the video. So class name, and just giving it a px of 4, py of 2, and I think no, let's just give it a rounded is property as well. Rounded XL will be enough, and giving it a bg property of white, let's say. And it's white property. No, I should have a text of black as well. And now it looks good. The problem is that this text should be nicely aligned, centered vertically to this button. So I will just use here the items to be nicely centered, and now you can see here these two are now nicely centered. So this text is not visible, like we should have a nice reflection of the text here, but it isn't visible. So what should I give this to the whole container that includes the text at the bottom? So what should I want to do is that giving it a backdrop, a blur and just using the SM, which means 4 pixels, and you can see here it's nicely now we can see the text so much nice. So what do I want to have is that between these buttons I want to give it a little gap. So this is already a flex container. What should I give is to have a gap, or for example 2 here, and you can see here nice gap here, and giving the, you can see here this blur container don't have a border around it. So what do I want to have is to give the text container a border around as well. So rounded, and B, which stands for bottom, and just using the 3XL for design consistency, and you can see here very nice. And let's just give this the top of the text container some rounded border as well. So rounded, and let's just use Excel here. I think this will be enough, but it's not that much visible. Just using 2XL if it's visible, and you can see here it's nicely visible. So I think this is enough. So we have built a nice minimal card UI. So if you want to have these kind of nice, beautiful components, then please comment down below. Thanks a lot.